Now, about 3 days ago, I saw a headline that noted about 15% of home sales or homes that went under contract are coming back on the market. And I'll be honest, I've definitely had to work harder to keep deals together lately. Buyers have way more questions. They have options. Like they'll be in the option period and potentially find another house that they like and they'll cancel. If you're under contract with an okay home and the perfect home comes up, most buyers are going to make the switch. So buyers have more options, and unfortunately I'm running into more agents that don't really understand the business, or they just don't have time to really take care of their clients. Maybe they have a family, they're working another job, whatever it might be, they just seem like they're absent from the transaction quite a bit. Now, I wanted to find out where they're coming up with this number, this 15% or 1 in 5 homes that go under contract come back on the market. So I started diving into my MLS, and I wanted to look at the active kickout. I'm not going to go into what all these mean if you don't know. Maybe we'll save that for another video. Sorry, my lips are super chapped. I was out this weekend on opening weekend of deer season, and that wind was blowing in my face, got my lips all chapped. Anyways, we're going to look at the active kickout, active option, contingent, pending, withdrawn, hold. I wish I would have put cancellations in this, but stick with me here. That creates a total of 6,122 homes. And if I do that math with the amount of homes that came back on the market, that's going to give me 16.33%, or roughly 1 in 6 homes that went under contract came back on the market. But my big question here is, how are they coming up with this number? I think they're doing the math that I just did. And to my knowledge, I'm going to do some research and find out if I'm wrong on this, and we'll circle back next week. But I don't think you can search, at least in our MLS, how many of those pending properties came back on the market. How many of those homes that came back on the market were canceled listings and they just switched brokerages? How many of those homes were on hold? Like a seller for one reason or another decided to just hold the listing and they've put it back on the market. How many of those homes were in option period and came back on the market? I've looked and I'm not 100% sure there's a way to search that specifically. So I think it just gives you an inaccurate picture of how many homes are really coming on and off on the market, because I know what my knee jerk is. When I see 1 in 5 or 1 in 6 homes that go under contract are coming back on the market, I automatically think homes that are pending or in option period. But there's quite a few other categories that homes sit in before they come back on the market. And if a seller cancels a listing with a broker and then they put the home back on the market inside 30 days, then I believe that's going to show up as a back on market home. I need to do a little research on that once again so I can give you all some accurate information here. The point I'm trying to make a lot of these things make great headlines that people click on, but when you really start to dive into the research, sometimes it's worse and sometimes it's better than what they're trying to make you believe. But at the end of the day, it's a little bit of false information. So on this one, I'm still not 100% sure. We are seeing more homes come back on the market, but I don't know if it's 1 in 5 or 1 in 6 homes that were under contract, or is that 1 in 5 and 1 in 6 homes are just coming back on the market? I don't know. We'll see how this one unfolds next week. I got to do a little bit more